G'day everyone, today we're looking at map 1 of Ambrosia, Proclamation. This is a work in progress WAD from Kinetic Beverage, with this first map being sort of an homage to No Speed 2. There's a couple of dehack changes. The chain gun and plasma rifle are both buffed, with the chain gun getting a higher firing rate and sprite, and the plasma getting a straight damage buff. There's also 2 Magnolia inspired changes. Barons don't count towards the kill count, and the teal cybers make a return, although this time they're silver. Onto the map. This is a surprisingly easy map for the most part if you aren't trying to go too fast, but getting a good time can be quite grindy, mainly due to the RNG of archvile targeting in the first room. All the fights are really enjoyable though, so I never got frustrated at any point during my attempts, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Anyway, let's get into the demo. Alrighty, so we grab the cool chain gun, and then we chain gun our way over to the right to hit this first switch. We've got to hit 4 of these switches underneath platforms of vials like this. Need to be pretty precise with our movement so that we don't stay out in their line of sight for too long and get zapped by multiple as we're leaving. Once we hit all 4 switches, we can take the teleport to the next fight. So for this one, the first wave, I just push out to the edge as quickly as possible and start clearing up all the chain gunners, trying to focus on any ones that are looking at me and ready to shoot. And then when the second set of walls comes down, I wait in the center for a half a second or so, try and bait the revenants away from the wall. Unfortunately, I still took quite a lot of damage pushing through this side, but not enough to kill me. And then when the next set of walls come down, we get a whole bunch of silver cybers. I like to split my damage here between the cybers and the revenants. If you just focus purely on the cybers, you'll steal aggro from too many of them. They won't be doing much damage to the revenants, and then you'll have to clear up a big group of revs at the end. So I like to split my damage between the two enemies. Once those guys are dead, get to the back of the room and start spamming rockets. And then once we clear these guys, we can move on to a pretty interesting fight. So when we hit the switch up ahead here, we're going to get 2 sets of enemies spawning in at either side of the tunnel. There's 8 imps, then 8 hell knights, then 8 revenants. And 30 seconds after you hit the switch, you'll get a silver cyber spawn in at each end of the tunnel. I basically just completely focus on one end first, just so that I can make sure I clear out the revenants. What I don't want is to have revenants on both sides of me, shooting at my back and my front. It's just impossible to deal with. So once I've killed those guys, I'll turn around and start focusing on the Hell Knights there. As you can see, I'm getting quite good use out of the 180 key here. It's very useful for a fight like this, which I'm sure was the intent from Kinetic. And then, as I'm pretty confident that last silver cyber's dying, I'll take the teleporter. So in this room, we get the BFG. We've got to hit 2 of these fire blue wall sectors, they're switches. When we hit the second switch, so 213, from now we've got 90 seconds until the vials get crushed. You do need to be pretty well aware of that timer, because if you're out in the very center of the room when they start getting crushed, they'll get infinite attack range, and you can get targeted by 6 of them at once and just die. So I'll be keeping an eye on the timer, and around about 4:45 is when they'll get crushed. I want to be kind of in a decent position where I can line of sight myself from most of those guys when they get crushed. So from here, I'm just kind of trying to run around, similar to the circle fight I talked about earlier. I want to split my damage between the revs and the cybers here. If I fully focus on the revs, then the cybers will end up having a ton of health by the time I go to clear them up. If I fully focus on the cybers, then the revs will block the revenant teleport destination, and not enough will teleport in. And then after I've cleared all the cybers, there'll be a ton of revs for me to kill. So I kind of try and split my damage between the 2 of them. I like to try and get some damage on those exit cybers as well, so that I don't have to spend a lot of time clearing them out before I can leave. While this infighting is going on, is a perfect opportunity for me to do that, because it doesn't matter too much how much damage I'm doing at the moment to the group. It's a good time for me to go and get some extra damage on those exit guys. So we can see the blue pillars are crushing those archviles now. I'm in a good spot for it. I can just sit with my back against the wall there. Now that the vials are dead, I'm pretty much clear. I just need to be careful not to take any infighting rockets at this point. Or rockets travelling through a Cyber Demon's corpse as well is another worry. So now we're just on to cleanup. I probably should be focusing solely on the cybers here rather than the last few revenants, but that direct face rocket I took when I was cleaning up that last exit cyber worries me, and I'm now down quite low, so I'm staying back a little bit. I know I've got enough time, so but thankfully we managed to get that extra mega. Now I can go in a bit closer. Now just these last exit cybers. Of course I have to eat one more rocket. And we're done. Alright everyone, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Catch you later.